General CDs Part 29. Ahoy, hoy everybody, welcome to part 29 of a look at my general CDs. So that's normal CDs, no soundtracks, no compilations, no Prince related CDs, no signed CDs, no box sets because they've already been shown. We're on that set of shelves, which by and large is stuff I've bought in the last 18 months or so. A lot of this I've shown because a lot of it comes from charity shops and I've shown on haul videos, but obviously I hadn't listened to them at that time, so now I can tell you about them, or my opinion of them. Janet Jackson's Rhythm Nation 1814. As I mentioned in my last part, picked up a few of Janet's albums. They all suffer from having too many segues or interludes in them. I mean, this one, yeah, interlude, song, interlude, song, interlude, song, interlude, song, interlude, song, 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 hey, interlude, song, interlude, and then a load of songs, and another interlude. And I don't think a couple on one of the albums, I can't remember which one it was, might be All For You, but when I showed him the last part, there was a couple of quite sexy actually interludes, but most of them are unneeded, either trying to be funny and then not, or they're just a little bit of studio banter which isn't really needed, or a bit preachy, and as I mentioned, just sort of ruins the flow of the album for me. But this is a good album. Rhythm Nation was a big hit. Miss You Much was a big hit. All Right was a big hit. Escapade was a big hit. Black Cat was a big hit. Come Back to Me was a big hit. It's a good, strong album. This is Pocket Full of Kryptonite by Spin Doctors. Glad to have picked that up on CD. I've had it on cassette from when it was released. Album I've always loved. You know, the singles, Two Princes, and my mind's gone blank. Little Miss Can't Be Wrong and Jimmy Olsen's Blues were all great tracks. But yes, always enjoyed that album. I've never felt the need to get any more of their stuff, but always enjoyed that album. This is Arctic Monkeys' Favourite Worst Nightmare. So I picked up the first album, whose name I won't try and remember, which actually turned out to be a CDR, but we'll get to that when we see it. Enjoyed that, so I thought I'd pick this one up as well. Another really strong album, Fluorescent Adolescent, Brainstorm, with definitely hits, probably one or two more, but yeah, good album. Garbage's Bleed Like Me. So as I mentioned in the last part, I'd sort of had Garbage and Garbage 2.0, never really went any further, but have been finding their stuff in the charity shops, picking it up and enjoying them, and it was either this or what was it called? Beautiful Garbage, or Beautiful rather. I thought it was just an amazing album. I think it was beautiful, but I enjoyed them both. Yeah, both really good albums, but I think it was beautiful. I just thought it was an amazing album. Really surprised me how good it was. But yeah, this is Bleed Like Me. It might be the other way around. It might be Bleed Like Me, but it's amazing and beautiful, but it was very good. This is Bruce Springsteen's Lucky Town. So Springsteen, I picked up the first studio albums box set on CD. They haven't done the second one on CD, I don't think, so I haven't been able to pick that up yet. I sort of enjoyed it, but I found listening to them all back to back a bit heavy going. None of it really wowed me, but I enjoyed it. But when I saw this in a charity shop, I thought, oh well, I'll pick that up. And yeah, much the same really, you know, I enjoyed it, it didn't wow me. It was Paul McCartney's Paul Is Live. It's reissues from last year. As you may have seen if you've been watching all these videos, I've been picking up all his albums as they've come out on the various re-releases, either the legacy reissues or the normal ones. So this is Paul Is Live. So this was from his live tour in... does it say anywhere? 1993. Yeah, really strong. There's quite a few tracks on here that weren't played on later tours. Both Beatles ones that he never did and his own bits. But yeah, good strong album. As is the Ameba Gig, which came out at the same time. I did already have the version of this that was given away with whatever paper it was. I think it was a Mail on Sunday. But it was like 30, might have been 13 tracks on it. This is the full gig, which is 21 tracks. Really strong live gig. Lots of covers. You know, rock and roll type covers. Well, not lots, but a few. And his own stuff from the Driving Rain period, I think it was. And hits and Beatles stuff, and really good album. This is COS All Change. So, as I mentioned in the previous part, and I think I mentioned when I bought this, when I was talking about Echo Belly, COS are a band, you know, I love Britpop. Britpop is my era of music. But quite a lot of bands, I never really picked up their stuff. I just enjoyed listening to it on the radio, and COS were one of those. But it's a really strong album. It's got All Right, Sandstorm, Walk Away, and Fine Time on it. You know, 4 great songs. And I say the whole album's good. This is Beatles live at the BBC. So this is the reissue of the first live at the BBC set. I already had the original release of it when they brought out On Air live at BBC Volume 2. They remastered and repackaged this, so I thought I'd pick this up at the same time. You know, they're good fun, enjoyable albums, but they're not masterpieces. This is Vanessa Paradis' self-titled album from 1992. This is when she was dating Lenny Kravitz, who's all over this album. This is a fantastic album, really, really good. I mean, the big single from it was Be My Baby, which is an amazing song. But yeah, whole thing really, really good. Unfortunately, it needs a new case, really. But, yeah, I'm loath to change them nowadays because I just sit on my shelf most of the time. Anyway, yeah, really, really, really good album. George Michael's Faith. So yeah, you know, picked up all his solo albums in charity shops over the last 18 months or so. Good album, Faith. Faith, Father Figure, I Want Your Sex, One More Try, Monkey, Kissing a Fool, all singles. But the whole album is good. Best of James, again, charity shop. This probably will do me with James. I enjoyed it, but it didn't make me want to go any further. I've got a friend Adrian who's a big fan of them. But as I say, this probably would do me. Doesn't help that it's sort of front loaded with the big hits. So you've got Come Home and Sit Down, when She's a Star, and Laid. And then lots of tracks really that I didn't really know. Destiny Calling, which was track 9, I knew. But yeah, as I say, you know, I enjoyed it, but it hasn't made me think, oh, I must get all their albums. This is Billie by Billie Piper. So this was the first. Was it her first, or was it her only album? I'm not sure how many albums she released. Let's have a look. I mean, I always enjoyed her pop work, but then since she, you know, sort of become an actress, and even before Doctor Who, been a big fan of hers. Met her at least twice I think. Seen her on stage twice as well. I know this is okay. This isn't. That's what's confused me a bit. This isn't called Billie. This is called Honey to the Bee, but it's written in there. So this was her first album. She had 2 albums. So this has got Because We Want To, Girlfriend, and Honey to the Bee. Were definitely all singles, probably 1 or 2 more as well. Honey to a Bee, I think it's just an amazing pop song. But it's, yeah, it's a strong album, actually. Janis Joplin, Big Brother and Holding Company, Sex, Dope and Cheap Thrills, which was what the album was originally going to be entitled. So this has got the Cheap Thrills album and then loads of bonus tracks, basically. Different alternate versions and what have you. But yeah, really strong. Wings Greatest. This, again, was part of a reissue campaign. I was going to say nothing unique on here, which there isn't. There's sort of non-album singles on here, but they've all sort of been on the legacy reissues. They've been added on the bonus discs. So I had everything that was on here, but it's just a nice little package of Wings Greatest, really. Although it does include tracks from Ram, which technically aren't, or a track from Ram, which technically isn't Wings. But yeah. This is The Sound of Girls Aloud. So this was their greatest hits album from 2006. Regular viewers know I'm a big Girls Aloud fan. I will fully, nothing to be ashamed of. They are an amazing pop band. Love all their albums. Lucky enough to see them live. Really like Girls Aloud, like most of their solo work as well. I had The Sound of Girls Aloud Greatest Hits, the normal version, which comes with a white cover. Wasn't aware of this version, saw it mentioned on a forum somewhere, and thought, oh, need to have that. So went on eBay and picked it up for pittance from Music Magpie, I think it was. So what's special about this is it has a second disc of rarities, including previously unreleased parental advisory version of No Good Advice, which has got swearing in it. Wake Me Up, a previously unreleased original version. A live version of I Predict a Riot, the Kaiser Chiefs song. An extended version of Sound of the Underground that they used to use for TV appearances. Studio demo of Hanging on the Telephone, which I don't think is the Blondie track. Loving Is Easy, which is a B-side to the Wake Me Up picture disc, which at this point hadn't been on CD before. Singapore, which was a previously unreleased track from the Chemistry Sessions. And Sacred Trust. So, most of you are probably aware, but Girls Aloud came from a TV programme called Pop Stars for Rivals. And it was... We had the first Pop Stars, which was where Liberty X performed, and Hearsay. Well, rather, Hearsay performed, and Liberty X were the runners-up. They formed a band. But that was all done, that was all filmed in advance and just edited together and put out. They then decided that the public needed to be involved, and that's when they came up with Pop Stars Rivals. So they were going to put together a girl band and a boy band. And the girl band were going to be managed by Louis Walsh, who was on the panel. The boy band by Pete Waterman, who was on the panel. And then Jerry Halliwell was on the panel as well, I think. And you could vote who you wanted. And the final five became Girls Aloud and One True Voice, who were the boy band. And then it was, the winners were deemed whoever got to Christmas number one, or got to number one anyway. And Girls Aloud won with Sound of the Underground, and One True Voice vanished into oblivion. But Sacred Trust was the One True Voice song that was also released, and Girls Aloud recorded their version of it, and that's on here. This is Scott Walker 5 classic albums. Nice little box set. It's got his first 5 albums. Basically Scott, Scott 2, Scott 3, Scott 4 until the band comes in. All in little replica vinyl sleeves. Oops. No bonus tracks or anything, but this was, I think it was like $15.99 for 5 albums. And they're great albums. Big fan of Scott Walker. I have Scott 2 on vinyl now. And I will pick up the others as and when I find them. But yeah, just really, really good stuff. And let's call it a day here, I think. So you can watch past and future parts on my playlist. Thank you for watching. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you on my next video. Thanks. Bye.